I will never go down a path of intentional weight loss ever again. I'm sorry. I really am sorry. I know, like, I can't please everyone, but I tried to do this the best that I could.
Recently, I came across a before and after that really caught me off guard. So much so that I actually thought it was a joke at first. If you can't see the screen right now, we are looking at one of the most infamous fat acceptance creators in the entire space. This is Anti-Diet Pilot, someone who's gone viral multiple times over the past few years because of their very wild fat acceptance takes.
If you ask someone why they think being fat is bad and they tell you it's because it's unhealthy, immediately stop listening to anything else they have to say. This belief that being fat increases your risk for disease is outdated. The most recent research in fat studies actually links dieting and weight cycling for an increased risk of disease. In fact, the reduction of adipose tissue increases your risk for type 2 diabetes, and the research shows that fat bodies are actually better at fighting diseases than thin bodies. Losing weight is not healthy. It doesn't benefit your physical health in any way, shape, or form. And if you don't believe me, Google the obesity paradox.
From the very beginning of her TikTok account, this has been Justice's brand. Justice is Anti-Diet Pilot. She has used her platform to advocate very hard for fat acceptance, basically declaring anything and everything to be fatphobic at some point or another in the past 3 years.
Yes, fatphobic. Notice how this gives me a little bump here. Looking at myself in this mirror, telling myself that this is not flattering is fatphobic. Going to the gym so that you can look a certain way and have a certain body image does make you fatphobic because there's absolutely nothing healthy about a certain body size. What makes somebody fatphobic at the gym? Let's talk about it. Are you prioritizing leg day because you want your butt to look super delicious? Or is it because you know strong glutes help protect your knees and your back? Wanting to work out does not make anyone fatphobic, but the motivations why you might go to the gym do.
She has stood out in this space from the very beginning. It actually hasn't even been a year since she went viral for declaring that it should be illegal for body positive influencers to change their minds, basically. I'm going to take the heat since no one else will, and I'll talk about this. The fact that there are influencers who built gigantic followings based on their conversations around body positivity, healing your relationship with food and with exercise, who have now done a complete 180 and are now talking about weight loss medications is insane. That should literally be illegal. Well, if it was.
I knew talking about being on a Glp1 would ruffle some people's feathers.
Call the police.
You have to be out of your my brain I can't wrap my head around. Like, I've had to unfollow so many of my mutuals because this behavior is just so despicable. I really thought that the people in my mutual circle were the real ones. You're fake.
Again, according to her own rules, apparently she is a fake one also, because now she is sharing about her weight loss medication, despite what her entire platform has been built around, which is actually something she felt the need to go out of her way to reassure her audience would never happen. Not long after she put up the video we just watched, this one came out.
I don't care how hard the ozempy girlies try to shove that shit down my throat. I will never go down a path of intentional weight loss ever again.
I actually remember when I first saw that video at the time last year, my first thoughts were, who are you trying to convince here? It's meant to look like she's reassuring the audience, but it very much seemed like she was trying to reaffirm herself in her own ideology. The ideology being fat acceptance.
In my opinion, dieting is just an illusion of something that will get you a better life. It doesn't actually make your life better. It's miserable. Ask anyone who's currently dieting. It fucking sucks. So why do it?
I believe this is her externalizing a very internal dilemma she was already having back in April of 2024.
I wanted to talk about being in the largest body that you've ever been in because it's so hard, especially like right now in 2024.
The other central focus of Justice's account is her recovery from a bad relationship with food. That's how I have to say it for YouTube. And in this recovery, she has put on weight.
Weight has gone up, but so has my income, my quality of life, my self-confidence, and everything in between.
Despite what she's saying here, I think this has actually really bothered her the whole time it's been happening.
Maybe, but I'm rich and I'm pretty, so it doesn't really matter.
And I think it's a big piece of why fat acceptance got its claws in so deep with her. But I also think fat acceptance is a big reason why her recovery has looked the way it has.
One thing about me, I'm gonna eat. I don't care how many calories is in it. I don't care if this is equivalent to 12 slices of bread. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna enjoy my coffee with 30 pumps of cream. Well, sweet cheeks, I suggest you close your eyes because it's about to get greasy up in here. Life is about balance. This is not gonna kill me. This is not going to make me have diabetes tomorrow. Get over it.
I am not trying to be an a-hole by pointing out her weight gain. I think it's important to discuss the ways that fat acceptance has landed her in the situation she's in, though. For the past 3 years, she has convinced herself that body size is irrelevant, all food is nourishing her, and that anyone who wants to lose weight is participating in oppression.
Not bad news for you, supported by substantial scientific research. Body size does not determine health. So if you're not going to the gym for health, and you're not using any actual real measures for physical fitness beyond the scale, then it's not for health. It is because you are actively avoiding fatness, which is, yes, fatphobic.
I also want to clarify that even when she was doing this activism, I think she had good intentions. I mean, I know her delivery can be incredibly smug and condescending.
Yes.
But I do think that initially she really bought into this and she wanted to use her platform to help people. And it's actually one of my main issues with this movement. They weaponize empathy. They win people over like her basically by forming their arguments around emotional appeals as opposed to evidence-based reasoning. But they do present it like it's backed by data.
Obesity is not a disease. My name is Sammy and I'm a registered dietitian and certified intuitive eating counselor, and the size of somebody's body is not a disease.
This is incredibly manipulative. These are professionals who are supposed to be authorities on the subjects that we're talking about: weight, health, diet, nutrition, but they are using their credentials to push an ideology. It's honestly really messed up. These people have and continue to mislead people down a path that's really hard to come back from, and not everyone does. But reality is catching up with a lot of these fat activists, and that seems to include anti-diet pilot.
I'm on a GLP-1, and I know some people are going to feel very hurt or confused or be like, what the fuck? I also would probably say the same thing. I've been wanting to come back to TikTok for a very long time, but I told myself until I was ready to talk about this, I would not come back because I did not want to be a dishonest bitch like some of these. I don't want to trigger anyone. And if seeing somebody on a GLP-1 is not good for your mental health, like,
as we listen to her explain this, pay attention to the way she's talking about it. To me, I get the impression that she is still very much in the grips of fat acceptance and has just started to break away. I say that because you can very much tell that she's afraid of the backlash she's going to receive, or that she thinks she might receive. And I'm sure at least some of that comes from the awareness that she used to attack people online when they wanted to lose weight, which even that she feels like she has to clarify is not her motivation.
I want to just first of all say that I did not get on GLP-1 for weight loss. I have an underlying medical condition. I'm not going to go into detail, but it was prescribed by my doctor. I remember sitting in the doctor's office being like, this stupid fatphobic bitch. I genuinely thought she was just being fatphobic because I'm telling her I'm having these symptoms and she's like prescribing me a weight loss medication. Like, what the fuck? I just felt like I was so angry at the time.
It's like she knows that her audience wants to not trust doctors and to view them as fatphobic, so she has to reassure them that she also still sees doctors that way, or did.
So in that regard, like eating wise, I don't really feel like it changed a lot. It did change like the way that I crave food. Like I don't crave like fast food and stuff like that anymore.
I'm chopping this up because it's a bit long, but basically what I think she's doing here is trying to downplay or minimize the role that this GLP-1 is having in her life right now. To say, so yeah, not really much has changed, but I'm not really craving fast food anymore. What? That's huge, especially for her. Again, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but she has shared a lot of fast food content on her TikTok.
I wasn't really craving a donut, but it was free, so.
And based on her most recent update captioned how a GLP-1 changed my relationship with food, I definitely think minimizing is what was happening in this initial reveal to her audience.
I don't eat just to eat. I only eat when I'm hungry, which is very different from before I was on this medication because I would just eat for every single emotion: happy, sad, bored, lonely, like literally didn't matter. I'm finding an occasion to eat. Another difference is I used to always have to have something sweet after my meal. I don't do that anymore. I actually don't have any sweets in my apartment. It's not because like I can't have them or just like I literally don't crave them. And just like that, I'm full. So I'm gonna put the lid on it and I can come back to it at any time when I'm hungry again. That is the beauty of this medication. I don't know what kind of witchcraftery it is doing to my brain, but like that is a healthy relationship with food.
The main reason I'm pointing this out is because I feel like almost in real time, we are watching someone breaking away from an ideological possession. And that in itself is just really interesting to me. I have seen a few people now describe leaving fat acceptance as feeling like they left a cult.
I've also been experiencing like a lot of cognitive dissonance and feeling like a hypocrite or like a failure. I think almost exactly a year ago, I went viral talking smack about GLP-1s and how all these people are going on GLP-1s for weight loss and just like pretending like nothing fucking happened.
To give her credit, I think what she's doing is actually a really hard thing to do. Changing your mind is hard enough, but it has to feel a little bit more embarrassing when you have the history she has with fat acceptance. But her feeling shame and guilt about that speaks to the ideological possession. That speaks a lot more to the nature of what fat acceptance is at its core, I think, as a movement, which is toxic, but it really had a hold on her, and it has a hold on a lot of people. She is obviously losing weight on this medication, and it actually seems like something she wants to talk about, but you can tell that she's still afraid to.
I don't know what the future of my account is. I really just want to be able to post whatever I want. So that's why I'm making the disclaimer. I don't think I'm going to be doing like, hey guys, I lost X amount of pounds this week. Like, I don't think I'm going to be doing anything like that. It doesn't interest me.
So that is what she said here in this first reveal to her audience. But then watch this little edit from a more recent update.
I just finished week 8 and I've lost
To me, that looked like she very clearly recorded herself sharing her weight loss and then felt the need to edit it out before she posted it on her TikTok.
I just finished week 8 and I've lost but
obviously I can't speak to what's going through her mind, but I really think we're witnessing someone who is in the process of breaking free from fat acceptance, not fully there, but maybe on their way to a full exit. And that genuinely makes me happy for her.
Some people won't understand, but like when you lose your face temporarily and then all of a sudden you have your face back and you look in the mirror, every time you look in the mirror, it's like you recognize yourself again. Like for so long, I felt like I didn't recognize myself, and like all of a sudden I'm like recognizing myself again, and like that is priceless, okay? And I wanted to share it on the internet. I'm sorry. I really am sorry. I know like I can't please everyone, but I tried to do this the best that I could.
That is her responding to someone who basically called her out for sharing a before and after. And I can't help but wonder if she has any sort of awareness that she used to do this to people, make people feel defensive about the choices they were making for their own bodies.
If your identity is so closely tied to weight loss that you have to refer to it as a right, I'm gonna just assume that your relationship with food and working out is probably not that good. And that's why when I shared research about how weight loss isn't healthy, you left this comment, because it scares you.
If we do get to watch her fully break away from this, then I do think it would be nice to see her sort of address her former fat acceptance, kind of the way Angelica Unfiltered does on her YouTube channel. I think then she could actually do some good, which maybe was what she wanted to be doing all along.
I think it would be really beneficial. I know a lot of people that followed me because they had issues with BED. And I would love to, share my experience and how it's literally made those urges and that like mindset around food like completely vanish. It's been such a godsend, and yeah, I know some people are not going to understand, and I totally get it.
There is a bit more I wish I could dig into with her situation, specifically the recovery, but YouTube is really cracking down. I just had to recently go through a bunch of appeals with them, and I'm not trying to do that again anytime soon, but I am genuinely curious to see what the future of Anti-Diet Pilot's content is going to be like. But yeah, now I want to know what you guys think down below. Was this on your 2025 bingo card for the fat acceptance year? Do you think she is actually fully waking up from this? Do you think she deserves backlash for this? Let me know down below, and give the video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will have another video up soon. Everyone take care until then. Bye.